We will move on to reports and item B, recognition of staff students. Mr. Mead.
Good evening. I just want to do a quick public service announcement for the Challenge Academy. We have a number of kids that go out to the Challenge Academy, and these are kids who we have trouble getting to bring a pencil to class, and they just don't. They're just not a good fit for the high school for themselves. They're great kids, and they go out to the Challenge Academy, and I always get a charge when they come back after completing the Challenge program. And there's one individual, I can think, he was on the verge of expulsion, and he went out to the Challenge Academy, and when he came in after it was done, he had a smile about 3 feet wide on his face, and I jokingly said to him, hey, what did you do with, Billy? Billy never smiles, and we started joking back and forth, and I said, what made the difference at the Challenge Academy for you? And he said, well, they get in your face. And I said, well, I could have gotten your face too, And he goes, well, that's not the same thing, Mr. Me. It's not the same thing. I said, okay, what else do they do for you out there? He said, what they do is they set you up for success. They start you out very, very small, and you're successful. And then you're a little more successful. And then all of a sudden you start believing in yourself, and you turn your life around. And you know you can do it. And you start taking pride in what you do. And these are kids, like I said, some of them that you can't get to bring a pencil to class, and they come in and they brag about being honor grad, or I'll probably mess this up here, but platoon leaders and things like that. And we just had, I think last month, just prior to the winter break, 4 of them come back and talk in the high school, and it's comical, and from my perspective, when they start calling me sir. And I just jokingly like, are you sure you're talking to me? But they're all very polite. They're outstanding gentlemen, and the Challenge Academy, in my mind, really helps these kids out a lot. So I would certainly support the board's endeavor in trying to work this into our graduation requirement or diploma, because it is a great program for these kids. So that's just my public service announcement. And now back to our regular scheduled program here. Tonight, the high school administration would like to recognize the following students and staff. Coaches Terry Ware and Amy Ritter, along with the Toma High School dance team, for qualifying for the state dance competition, which was held in La Crosse on February 5th. Mrs. Lupke and I went over to it, and I thought the kids were simply outstanding. It's amazing that their years' worth of effort and work comes down to a 2.5-minute routine, but they were outstanding. We'd like to also recognize Angie Pluger and Kendall Bridges, along with the limited edition show choir, for winning the Spirit Award at last week's Logan Show Choir Classic over at La Crosse. I went to that too, and the kids were they were the second performing group, and they were simply outstanding for a 10:30 performance in the morning. They were by far one of the better shows I've seen them do, and they're getting better every year. Their facial expressions were just outstanding. By the way, they're doing songs from the musical Wicked, and if you ever get a chance to go see it, it's outstanding. And we'd also like to thank Jeff Adams and the Roots and Shoots students for their willingness again to participate in the 2011 Polar Plunge, which is coming up March 5th at Pettibone Park in La Crosse. And I'd like to invite the school board to the high school February 27th at noon for our 3rd annual Special Olympics basketball game. There'll be 2 games there. We have the pep band there, we have the dance team there, and it is a great event. And lastly, I'd like to invite the members of the school board next Thursday night to come to the pancake supper to be held in the comms area. And this is where Nelda's going to come up. This is where she signed in wrong. She's going to come up and tell you some of the things that they're going to be doing and some of the FFA projects. And then afterwards, after you've had your pancakes, I'd invite you to stick around for the Toma Dance Team showcase that follows afterwards. So, thank you.
Thank you again for having us. Just next week is National FFA Week, and a little history is actually held during George Washington's birthday, as he was one of the first agriculturists in America. So all week I've been telling middle school students that to kind of get them to understand why we have it. And the one major event is the pancake supper on Thursday night from 4:30 to 7, and Eucharist to follow. It's at the high school commons area. And quiz bowl also. A week or so ago we had a district speaking contest at Holman High School, and we took different competitors in job interview, discussion, impromptu speech, and we also took a middle school quiz bowl team, and they actually studied really hard and got first place, and they'll be moving on to our sectional level at March 10th at Viroqua High School. So hopefully we can go state. They've been studying already, so they're very excited.
The thing that she left out with sectionals, her Quiz Bowl team at sectionals, that incorporates 30 schools. So, I mean, it's a lot of schools when it comes down to it and everything like that. It's narrowed down from that, but there's 30 schools in our section. So it's pretty awesome to get that far. Other things that we're doing this year in FFA Week, we took a slightly different approach and we did a more community approach this year. And this year during FFA Week, we have different businesses coming in to do brown bag lunches in the ag department, and we have a vet coming in, a person in ag communications coming in and marketing, and another person coming in dairy equipment, and another one in organic agriculture to talk to the students during the 2 lunch periods so they can go and get their lunch and then come down to the ag room and have a conversation with this person at the same time. So that's one of the things that we've done to involve the community, and another thing that we're also doing is an ag business scavenger hunt this year. So there'll be clues on the radio station. The Cow radio station out of Sparta agreed to help us with that, and they'll be giving clues to different agricultural businesses that people will be able to go in and mention that they heard it on the radio. And then we're also trying to get a few businesses to come in during the pancake supper, and we know we have an organic display, and Extension is coming in doing a display during the pancake supper too. So trying to kind of do a community approach on that. Any questions on some of our new adventures?
Sounds like a very busy time. Great. And congratulations.
We'll take it out next Saturday.
There you go. Thank you both. So we'll move to item C then.
I did want to note, I did embed in your notes, I just wanted to recognize Mrs. Clark did complete an application for a special recognition at Standing Up for Rural Schools, Libraries, and Communities award program that's sponsored by DPI, and so she did send in information on our summer PAC program, and they were chosen as one of the top programs in the state this last year. So there is a ceremony that will take place down in Madison on March 7th, and I know Mrs. Clark is planning on going, along with probably Mrs. Barter, who is very integral secretarial part of making that whole program run. And if any of you would like to attend as well, just let me know and we can include you in that trip as well. But we're very excited to see that the program's recognized for, again, the partnerships with different community organizations. And I'm sure Mrs. Clark will be here next month with a plaque to share.
Oh, it's wonderful. That's very good.